We didn't find anything connected to the case, just some personal stuff.
Okay, Mick. I'll see you guys back at the station. Thanks.
Right.
Satisfied?
Well, so we didn't find anything today. But I'm gonna keep on looking. Your father was spotted near where Grace Sullivan was found murdered. I'm sorry, Kevin, I can't ignore that fact.
Well, maybe you should be more concerned with finding Victor. If he's a murder suspect, why don't you put out an APB? Get the whole department involved.
Doc, we're looking for him.
My father is out there somewhere. Maybe lost, maybe injured, maybe worse. And all you're doing about it is rummaging through his dresser drawers. Why does he stop wasting time looking for evidence that points at him and get out there and find him?
Please, have a seat.
Well, thank you.
So, what can I do for you?
Well, you see, my baby sister ran away several years ago.
Excuse me,
and,
Miss?
Colette Lambert.
Well, Miss Colette Lambert, this is an escort service. Detective agency is up on floor.
Yes, I know. Thank you. I saw the sign. You see, Eve, well, really her name's Evelyn Lambert. We call her Eve at home. You see, I think that she worked for your agency a little while ago. Do you remember Eve Lambert?
I'm not familiar with that name.
Oh, well, you see, Evie, well, she left home after a horrible, terrible falling out. And it was about, well, you know, you two look like a very sympathetic man. And it was about a man.
A man?
Yes, you see, Evie was in love with this guy, engaged to him, and the truth be told, the man was just interested in me. And, well, I told him, of course, I could never betray little Evie like that, but he insisted he was in love with me, and Evie found out, and she ran away, and now I simply must find her because, well, our mother is dying.
This must be an awful time for you.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes, it is. So you see, I simply must locate Evie because I just want to give our mom one last time with Evie before Mom passes away.
Colette, I'm very sorry, but I do not know an Eve Lambert.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear, dear me. Are you sure you don't recognize the name? You know, maybe she changed her name because she was this very voluptuous sort of Marilyn Monroe type gal, you know, and she wasn't blonde, of course. She was brunette, but she must have worked for you, oh, say 4 years ago. Does it ring a bell at all? Any little bells there ringing for you?
Even if I did remember her, company policy forbids me to reveal any information on our employees.
Even on former employees?
Never.
Oh, well, what about former employees whose poor, dear mommies are dying?
Well, the rules are very clear on that point. No dying mothers.
Excuse me?
But I thought your dying mother approach was very well done, especially the tear in the corner of your eye. Really fine. You can leave now. Hey, say hello to your mother for me.
You know, Grace was such a rare person, Mike. She had that amazing instinct about how to make people feel better. I mean, she knew if you needed a shoulder to cry on or a kick in the pants. She just knew. That's what made her such a great nurse.
And a great friend.
You know, she was so sure that we were right for each other, that we were supposed to be together. She nearly convinced me.
Nearly doesn't cut it, Matt. I mean, you can't force love.
Well, sometimes when we were together, the difference didn't even matter. I should have tried harder.
When someone gets killed, The people that are left behind usually think that if they had done something different, that person would still be around. You know, if I'd only driven the kids to school that morning instead of letting them get on the school bus, or if I didn't stop for one last drink. Life is a crapshoot, Matt. But you've got to let go of this feeling guilty.
I can't. I keep remembering the way she was the last time that we were together. And then I told her I didn't want to date her anymore. And what I did was cruel.
It was honest. You cared too much to lead her on. Grace would not want you to blame yourself.
Mr. Sullivan, a lot of these people that are here today were friends of Grace's from the hospital. I'd really like to introduce you to them.
Maybe later. I'm very glad you came after the way I treated you, asking Grace not to see you.
Please, that is forgotten. Did Mr. Sullivan come? Is she coming?
No, she couldn't. Coming here would have been the first step to accept that Grace is gone. My wife's not ready to do that.
I am so sorry. Grace is one of the loveliest people I have ever met. I just can't imagine the pain that the two of you must be feeling right now.
Outliving my child. I never thought.
You know, these funerals are just starting to too close together for comfort, you know?
You know what? Nobody was even broken up about Devlin. But Grace, she was such a nice person. The world is truly going to be a darker place without her.
You know, when I was helping Matt with that mess with his brother, Grace was right in the thick of it, and she seemed pretty selfless to me.
You know what? She told me one time that the reason she became a nurse was to give back because she really loved to help people. Why would someone want to kill someone like her?
Anybody is capable of murder. Fit of anger, backed into a corner. Or maybe you just can't figure out a way to shut somebody up.
You think that's why Grace was killed?
All I'm saying is I get this phone call. Grace, day she dies, she wants to talk about you and Ramsey.
I told you what she wanted. She knew that Chris and I didn't have an alibi for Devlin's murder. Do you really think that I would kill her because she was going to tell you something that I had already told you myself?
Well, what about that knucklehead Ramsey?
He swears he didn't do it.
You know, explanations are just fiction to make people feel better. I'm telling you right now, if I would have gotten a hold of Grace, I think she would still be alive.
I just wanted to let you know that Grace's friends are here for you and Mrs. Sullivan. If there's anything we can do.
That's very thoughtful of you, Dr. Devlin. Grace never believed you killed your father. She said you were too gentle. I'm beginning to see why she liked you so much.
Thank you for saying that, Mr. Sullivan. It means a great deal to me.
Grace will be missed. We'll never forget her warmth.
I'm glad Grace had such good friends.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, any luck with Victor?
No, actually, right after I leave here, I'm going to WLPC. Making a televised appeal might help me find him.
Yeah.
You know they're going to want to talk about general homicide.
That's probably the only reason they agreed to do the interview. Is that Grace's father?
Yeah, her mother was too upset to come.
I'm gonna go pay my respects. Mr. Sullivan, my name is Kevin Collins. I just wanted to tell you.
What did you say your name was?
Collins. I worked with Grace at the hospital.
How dare you come here? My daughter died just exactly like the character in your damn book. It's because of that piece of trash that my daughter is dead.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Get out of here. I will not have you polluting my daughter's wake.
Of course, I'm sorry.
Busy?
Listen, I'm gonna have to call you back. What is it now?
Okay, listen, you were right. I was lying about my sister. The truth is, I need money.
Well, sweetheart, get in line.
Well, I really do. I mean, my back is up against it. I lost my job, and I owe 3 months back rent. And they're going to kick me out in the streets if I don't have something by next week. And I was going to sell my car, but someone stole it.
Why didn't you say so at the first place?
Well, because I was just hoping maybe you'd recognize my talents and give me a job. You see, I don't like to beg for money.
Well, you know, I could understand why Lucy Cole, the millionaire, would be ashamed to be seen around here.
Oh, no, you must have me mixed up with somebody
listen.
else.
Forget it, okay? I recognize you from the paper. I don't know what type of scam you're trying to pull, but quit wasting my time and get out.
Wait a minute, you really are mistaken. I am not Lucy Coe. I'm not. I'm really not Lucy. I'm not.
I'm Jake Marshak, Mr. Sullivan. I recognized you from a picture that Grace showed me once. She carried it with her everywhere, said she wanted to have you with her all the time.
You're very kind. All of you have been... Please excuse me. I can't do this. I thought that being among Grace's friends would help me cope with her death, but meeting all of you, hearing how much you cared for her, has only made it worse. Thank you all for coming. Grace would... I'm sorry.
Poor man.
I know, it's just awful.
Jake, I owe you an apology. I was out of line the other day when I leaned on you so hard about Lark.
Look, Frank, what happened between Lark and me is over.
I shouldn't have been so hung up on age, Jake. Look at Will and Ariel Durant, two of the world's great historians. They fell in love when she was only 14. They stayed together all their lives.
Yeah, but Lark and I were not in love.
I just want you to know that it's okay with me if you two want to hang out. Lark doesn't have many friends. I'd hate to think that I cost her one.
Yeah, well, Frank, I don't have any intentions of ever seeing Lark again. Okay?
So you actually think that some maniac is running around the hospital following Kevin's book, chapter by chapter?
Absolutely. I think that's the only thing that makes any sense.
Hey, am I the only one around here who thinks that working at the hospital is becoming hazardous to your health?
I heard Boardman took an early leave of absence. His character is a third to be killed in the book.
He's very spooked.
But what are we going to do if the murders continue?
Dr. Quartermain has increased security. Garcia has a patrol cop around here constantly. That's got to have some effect.
What if the killing doesn't stop? Huh? And we got to ask ourselves, I mean, is working at the hospital more important than our lives?
Oh, goody. Look who just walked in. Your buddy, Detective Garcia. Are you going to tell him about Grace's phone call right before she died?
I am.
Good.
You mean that?
Why? What'd you expect? You wanted me to convince you not to?
I'm glad you didn't.
I realize that this is going to shine a huge, bright light right my way. But if it helps stop people from getting killed, then it's worth it.
Phooey. I really and truly thought I had the goods on that Evie this time. Rat! Boy, she even had the number of that escort service in her address book, so I knew I had something there. Darn. Okay, time to think. Let's think. I beat Rick Stanton, didn't I? Outwitted the little son of a gun, and that's what I got to do with Evie and the stinky little escort service. Okay, let's think. You know, if I wasn't so darn famous, then that man wouldn't have recognized me, and then maybe I would have gotten the goods on for sure, but... Wait a minute. That's it. I am so brilliant. Thank you. Yes!
Your client ready to confess?
The day Grace died, she left a message on my machine about Julie's defense.
Go on, I'm all ears.
She said she couldn't talk to me at the party.
You mean the circus?
The circus. The kids' circus, you know, where she was killed. You want to let me finish?
We'll get to the point.
Point is that she didn't want to talk to me at the circus as she didn't want Eve or Ramsey to see her talking to me.
You know, I ought to run you in for impeding a murder investigation.
Oh, come on, Garcia. This is the first chance I've had to tell you.
That's bull. You're holding out because it involves your little, whatever she is, your girlfriend, Eve.
Then why am I giving it to you in the first place?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm sure you have your reasons. So is this everything, or you stockpiling information for the winter?
Look, I have the message on my machine. I saved it.
You have any idea what you wanted?
No.
You do know that Ramsey and your girlfriend were each other's alibis for Devlin's murder.
So what?
So maybe that's what the call was about.
Listen, you can keep asking me this over and over again, but you know what? I don't know. She was killed before she told me anything.
Are you sure you didn't talk to Grace before she bought it?
Garcia, you're starting to aggravate me.
You still haven't answered my question, pal.
Yeah, you have. You weren't listening there, Flatfoot.
You got some nerve coming here, Chris.
Don't start with me, Matt.
What, you're just gonna pretend that you're mourning Grace when it was your stethoscope around her neck?
Hey, someone used my stethoscope to strangle her. That doesn't give you the right to accuse me of murder. I'm not a killer.
Oh, you're not a killer, huh? You almost got me killed when you gave word to the Mancuzis that I live in Port Charles.
What is that? I laid my life on the line for you in that warehouse.
And now you're involved in Devlin's death up to your neck.
How do we get to Devlin?
Well, the day he was killed, you got $20,000 from Devlin, right? Right?
I needed money, so I sold him a painting. Big deal.
Oh, I don't believe you.
Well, who the hell are you to question me?
Look, stop acting holier than thou, Chris. I found out that you have a record of forgery.
You know, I told you the next time you got in my face, that was it. Now I've had it with you.
Chris, did you kill my father?
Come on, Julie. You're not buying into this, are you?
Did you?
Are you guys nuts? I was nowhere near the lab when he was killed. And why would I murder someone who just gave me a load of money?
What about forgery?
Hey, I don't have to defend my past to any one of you. Now, the only reason Matt is trying to lay this on me is because he's out of his head over Grace's death. And the rest of you just following him like a bunch of sheep.
I'm back.
Who could help but notice?
Well, tell me, sir, do you think you could use a girl like me in your escort service?
What's the pitch this time?
You were right. You were absolutely right. You figured me out. You must be a very, very smart man. I am Lucy Coe, and I don't need any money.
Then what do you want to work for me for?
The Rush. See, I have been a businesswoman much too long these days. I'm stuck in those really stiff, ugly business suits, and I just want to break out. I want to start having myself some very erotic adventures.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Oh, well, you know, I really was testing you. Those last 2 visits were just that. I wanted to make sure that your confidentiality advertisement is just that, the truth, and not some bogus deal.
Hey, how did I do?
Well, I'm back, aren't I? So, how do I do? Do you think you could find me some work?
Are you kidding me, sweetheart? Are you kidding me? Ooh, would I love to have a woman like you in my stable.
Oh, and, ooh, but I just love to be in it.
Lucy? Lucy, is that you? Victor?
Oh, my God, Victor, you're all right. Victor? Victor, where have you been? What happened to you?
Hide. Had to hide.
Victor, hide. Where were you hiding?
Park. Nobody find me.
Victor, I looked for you in the park. Victor, who were you hiding from?
The Grim Reaper. I saw it.
All right, all right. You're home now. You're safe. Everything's gonna be fine.
No! I saw it.
What did you see?
The killer. Buck. I saw the killer strangle Grace Sullivan.
Tomorrow, there was a magical place known as Camelot where legends were born and passion became destiny. Richard Gere, Julia Ormond, and Sean Connery star in the network premiere of First Night on the ABC Saturday Night Movie. Join ABC Live backstage at the Daytime Emmy Awards tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on America Online at keyword AOL Live.